Jace Wezels, sorry for mispronouncing that, butchered it probably. Drills to keep the upper half closed. I always talk about the guys that I would say are not staying closed, so the early trunk rotators. I've seen it to be probably 80% of the time an instability issue of the front side and the trunk. So in that particular instant, a lot of times those patterns will get cleaned up when you overload the front side. And what I mean by that is like counterbalance work, throw a wrist weight on, you overload and you overemphasize the front side stability piece of it, and then you actually sync up. It's going to feel different though because you haven't ever really done that before. So it might feel like you're almost too much counter rotator, you're too much closed, you can't clear. But the other 20% of the time, it's due to probably a movement compensation, a mechanical thing for guys that are trying to over counter rotate to create more torque. And in that instant, it's just a timing mechanism, and you got to look at like video to determine, you know, when that timing needs to be for that person. If you think of like a Luis Castillo who does load in a counter rotation of his trunk, he's spinning off, for lack of a better terminology at this given moment, at the right moment in time, meaning his hand's in the position and his foot is anchored to then start and initiate his rotation. But a lot of guys will have that early. So then the movement compensation is due to an overcorrection and a slope sequencing issue where a lot of guys get a lot of stimulus on a flat ground, and then they go to a mound, you have more space to cover. And so then that sequence of movements is a little bit off. But for drills, like I said, overload the front side, counterbalance, throw a 2-pound plyo ball in your glove, play catch. We were doing one the other day, or I was, when I dropped my slide, I was trying to create more torque as well. And something that I was doing was just like a little pump piece, more so for like a drive leg, but what I included was like my left shoulder almost kind of like counter rotated over my left hip. So every time I would descend from leg lift, I'd feel this move right here, boom. So I'd do like 3 quick little pumps, and then I would go into my throw. So quick little pumps, pump, and then right into your throw, boom. But again, that could also revert back to like a movement sequencing issue that you might be doing that over excessive amount, and then you're forcing your body to spin off to clear. You have any off the top of your head? All right, so hopefully that helps. I've also had some decent success with guys with like just adding some tactile like feedback to the front side. Obviously the counterbalance stuff, the wrist weight, like I mentioned, but put like a connection ball too, either under the armpit of the glove side or in the elbow. And I don't really like the pattern of glove side flexion all too much. I like glove side extension, but just having something there that kind of takes your mind now to emphasize this can potentially clean up that upper half. But 80% of the time, as I mentioned, instability. And then the other times, just a movement sequencing thing. So, and for more drill stuff, I have an entire playlist on my YouTube channel, drill progressions and throw variations. So if you want to check out a bunch of those, just go to my YouTube.